Last time I asked, which of the following final form fire starter Pokemon is the smallest? A. Typhlosion, B. Blaziken, C. Infernape, or D. Incineroar? The answer is C. Infernape. Infernape is the shortest final form fire starter Pokemon at only 3'11". Now on with today's video. Professor Pokemon here with everything you ever wanted to know about Wartortle. Wartortle, the turtle Pokemon, is the evolved form of Squirtle, the water-type starter Pokemon of the first generation. It is number 8 in the Kanto Dex, number 238 in the Johto Dex, and number 87 in the Central Kalos Dex. Being the evolved form of Squirtle, there are a few things that carry over from the Squirtle form, including its typing of water, the ability Torrent and hidden ability Rain Dish, a medium-slow leveling rate, the Monster and Water 1 egg groups, gender ratio is 87.5% male to 12.5% female, and a capture rate of 45 or 11.9%. Wartortle is 3'3" or 1 meter and weighs 49.6 pounds or 22.5 kilograms. Its stats show that defense and special defense are equally the highest, and defeating or capturing one will give you +1 in defense and +1 in special defense upon leveling up. In Gen 1, its special stat was 65. Wartortle's shiny form varies slightly each generation. Some give Wartortle a lighter shade of blue like Squirtle's shiny variation, but others give Wartortle a slight purple tint. But all of them do feature Wartortle with a green shell. Gen 4 onward features a slight green tint to its ears and tail. Back in the day, Wartortle's line had a signature move with Skull Bash, although since then several other Pokemon have learned that move too. Some other notable moves would be Rapid Spin and Bubble Beam, to name a few. Wartortle's name, if you break it down, means war or warrior, tortoise, and turtle. Its Japanese name Kameru or Kamel. We have Kame, which means turtle or tortoise, and the Eru or El means tail, referring to Wartortle's long furry tail. Wartortle's French name means carapace or shell, and the word for swipe or slap. Its German name is a combination of turtle and curl. Wartortle, like Squirtle, is based on the Japanese legend of the Minogame, a turtle which lived for 10,000 years and grew a tail made of seaweed. Now, where have I heard this before? Oh yeah, it's in the Pokédex. Several Dex entries talk about Wartortle living for 10,000 years. It is said to live 10,000 years. Its furry tail is popular as a symbol of longevity. Its stadium entry says the tail is covered with a rich fur. It stores air in the fur before taking extended dives underwater. This is a reference to how some turtles have the ability to absorb oxygen through their cloaca. To sum up what I'm saying here, some turtles can breathe through their butts. Apparently Wartortle more or less has that ability when it traps oxygen in its tail. Turtles, of course, have the ability to hide in their shells, but their tails can't fit according to some Dex entries. When tapped, this Pokemon will pull in its head, but its tail will still stick out a little bit. As you see, Wartortle has large ears. Wartortle actually uses those ears for balance. It cleverly controls its furry ears and tail to maintain its balance while swimming. And the last entry I want to talk about goes back to talking about its age. Its large tail is covered with rich, thick fur that deepens in color with age. The scratches on its shell are evidence of this Pokemon's toughness in battle. An additional piece of information about Wartortle is seen in an episode of the anime that Wartortle can be seen living in colonies on islands with other members of its evolution line, but its preferred habitat seems to be freshwater ponds and lakes. This brings us to the next section of the video, anime appearances. Wartortle debuted in the episode Beach Blankout Blastoise. Ash and friends were trying to catch a ship and run into a panicked Wartortle who needed their help. They make it to Wartortle's island to find a bunch of sleeping Squirtle, Wartortle, and a Blastoise, and they wouldn't wake up. While investigating, Ash falls asleep along with Squirtle and describes a mysterious tune that sounds very familiar. Upon further inspection, they find Jigglypuff is the culprit, stuck in one of Blastoise's water cannons. Next up is Team Wartortle, a group of firefighting Wartortle under command of Captain Aiden. They work closely alongside Team Squirtle and Team Blastoise, who served different roles in firefighting. Ash's Squirtle joined Team Wartortle in some training exercises to prove its strength in the Pokemon Water War. Team Wartortle comes back in the episode The Firing Squad to compete in a firefighting competition and face the newly revived Squirtle Squad led by Ash's Squirtle in the final round. Next up is May's Wartortle. May comes back to visit Ash in the Sinnoh region to compete in the Wallace Cup. In the episode Staging a Hero's Welcome, May uses her newly evolved Wartortle in the performance round of the Pokemon contest. And lastly, Tierno's Squirtle evolved before and was featured in the episode Good Friends, Great Training. Moving on to manga appearances, we have the Pokemon Gotta Catch 'Em All manga, where we see Shu has a Wartortle. In Pokemon Pocket Monsters, a Wartortle appears in Take Me to the Dragon Palace. The magical Pokemon Journey manga, Squirtle has 5 sisters that appear in the 5 Sisters of Squirtle. One of them is a Wartortle named Kamena. And in the Pokemon Adventures, we have Blasty. Green stole a Squirtle from Professor Oak's lab, and Blasty first debuts as a Wartortle in the chapter Wartortle Wars. A Wartortle later appears as a Battle Factory Pokemon in Pincer Me, I Must Be Dreaming. Also during the saga, a rented Wartortle was stolen by Guile Hideout, the main antagonist of the Emerald chapter of Pokemon Adventures, in the chapter Skirting Around Surskit Part 1. The Battle Factory rented another Wartortle, which was also stolen by Guile Hideout, and Let Me At 'Em Lapras. And Wartortle in the video games, the only really notable one would be your rival in Red, Blue, Green, Fire Red, and Leaf Green. If you start out with Charmander, then your rival will pick Squirtle, and will be a Wartortle when you face him on the SSN. Before closing out this video, a random additional piece of trivia would be, even though Wartortle's ears are shown to be lighter than its face in the official Sugimori artwork and most of the game sprites, early promotional pictures portrayed its ears as the same color as its face. And lastly, Wartortle will evolve into Blastoise at level 36, which we will talk about next time. But before I go, here is today's trivia question. Chronologically, which were the first 2 Pokemon to see their types change? Come back next time to find out, but until then, this has been Professor Pokemon, and hope to teach you again soon.